Hey guys, welcome back to the DWF. It's your host Dan WrestleFan here, and today we're going to be looking at a kind of a what if and potential booking if I had the rights to book WrestleMania. And you know, now that we're on the road to WrestleMania with the Royal Rumble concluded, we're just going to kind of look at what would I do, what kind of storytelling would go on, what might possibly happen. It's a little bit of a predictions video with a kind of what if you will. So let's get into it here. First, we have Bayley challenging Rhea Ripley. This seems like the most likely option since Bayley was our first Royal Rumble winner of the night. Most likely she is going to challenge Rhea Ripley unless something goes severely bad with damage control and she challenges Io. I just don't see that happening. So I think Bayley is going to be challenging Rhea Ripley for a main event spot at WrestleMania. This could be an interesting match. I don't know. It's not like, it doesn't have main event spotlight on it for me personally. It's not like, ooh, Bayley and Rhea, that's the #1 match I want to see, but it's not bad. Like, Bayley's a really good worker, Rhea's a really good worker. It just doesn't, with other matches that are going to potentially be on the card, this just isn't high up there for me. Now, in WrestleMania, I like to live off the dream that every single title will be defended, so that's kind of what I'm doing in this situation, is going through every single title being defended. So moving on to the United States Championship, Logan Paul has some excellent competition he could defend against, theoretically. Obviously, Logan Paul versus Ricochet. But I kind of want to move away from that mold. Obviously, Logan could defend against Ricochet. It would be a banger of a match. But I just want to move away from that. We've seen it. I think his match with Kevin Owens last night proved that Logan Paul can work with other people. It doesn't have to be Logan Paul versus another extreme stunt performer, high flyer, if you will. I think Logan Paul could easily go against Andrade, Santos, or even AJ Styles I threw into the mix here. This new AJ, this mad, emo, all black all the time AJ, everyone's screwing me over, whatever. It's kind of got a cool vibe to it for a good, like, Logan Paul match. I think any of these competitors would make for a good match against Logan Paul for the United States Championship. That's my thoughts. Am I missing anyone? Let me know what you guys think. Leave it in the comments below what you think is going to happen there. Moving on, we've got the undisputed tag team champions. Sorry guys, these aren't in their Judgment Day attires the way Dom and Mommy are. These were just the closest figures that I grabbed off the shelf that I was showing at the beginning of the video, so I just grabbed them and gave them the straps. Now we could see, this is where the tag team division is hard because there's not a ton of good built up tag teams right now. None that I think are on Judgment Day level. So we could see like old classics, or we could see maybe new superstars step in. Is LWO ready to go after tag team gold, or are they going to go with something old and reliable, like potentially New Day? We could get Viking Raiders. This is just to represent any of the old, built, established tag teams. This is any, let's take a chance on new era tag teams to go after the belts. So that's kind of what the representation is. I'm not saying that it has to be LWO. I'm not saying that it has to be the New Day. But are we going to get like an older, established tag team, or a new, we're going to put trust in these guys tag team to go after Judgment Day? Moving on to the women's tag team division. This is another one where it's like you've got the Fire team in NXT right now of our JC Jane, Gigi Doll, and Toxic Attraction, who could easily go after the women's tag belts. But Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, they also have a chance too. I don't really know if there's too many other really good women's tag teams. You know, like I think this probably is. Now, this isn't to represent new and old and established. This is just, they're two relatively new tag teams going after Kabuki Warrior, Damage Control, Kabuki Warriors. But I think that's your two legitimate tag teams that have a chance. You know, because the tag team championships span Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. So you could bring up Toxic Attraction, put them in the spotlight of WrestleMania, put some eyes on NXT, you know, saying, oh man, there's even more people that can draw eyes to NXT. Maybe we get more viewers on NXT. That's still the weakest of the 3 shows. But I think if you give them the titles, that has a chance to help. If you give Chelsea Green, Piper Niven the titles, you know, not too bad. Maybe they don't lose the titles. Who's to say? That's the fun part of this. There's no real, like, this isn't what's going to happen. This is just my thoughts, my predictions, my fantasy booking. I would have this match right here. I would give the belts to Toxic Attraction. Let them take them to NXT. Maybe try and get some more eyes on NXT, more people to watch. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Who's to say? That's just my thoughts and predictions. Moving on to Io Sky. She's got a lot of potential competitors. You could put Roxanne Perez, Jade Cargill, returning Naomi, or Liv Morgan in a match with her, and I think it would be better maybe than Bayley Rhea, potentially, depending on who they put in the match and how well the match turns out. Obviously, Bray's still in the performers, but I think it has all the potential. I would love to see Io Sky, Roxanne Perez. That's what I originally had here, was Roxanne Perez and Io Sky. The more I thought about it, I'm like, you could really put any of these women in here and get an excellent match. I don't really need another Liv Morgan push. I know she just returned and everything, but I'd rather see Naomi in this spot, but I could potentially see, if it were my fantasy booking, I would take Liv Morgan out, but I could see WWE putting Liv Morgan in a title opportunity against Io Sky. This stuff could happen before Mania. This could happen at Mania. Who's to say? That's the fun part about all this, is it's the fantasy booking and you kind of do your own thing. Now, Gunther, if he's defending his title, I would love Imperium versus Bobby Lashley with the Street Profits. That would be a banger of a match. Let Bobby Lashley and Imperium, 2 big men, just go at it. They've got their bodyguards on the side watching their back. Perfect match, perfect setup right now to have this match. That would be excellent. I could see Sheamus getting another shot, but I would rather see Randy Orton he's kind of cutting Sheamus off here, got his hand out in front of him like, whoa, 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 you had a shot. I'd rather see Bobby or Randy Orton get a shot at the ring general. I just think, I don't know what Randy's condition is returning. How can he go in a one-on-one match very long, or is he kind of watching his time and everything like that? This could potentially be a filler match, just to, you know, kill a couple minutes on a card if Randy's in it, or you could have a barn burner with Bobby and Gunther. Would be excellent. I still think you cannot go wrong. Seth Rollins versus Punk. Do I need to say any more? I mean, the heat's already there. Everything's still there. They're still on the same brand, so this could still happen. If they don't do this at Mania, that would be absolutely ridiculous. Hopefully Seth is going to be recovered by then. I know Seth's personal thoughts on CM Punk, so I don't know how much of this is him being like, oh no, look at this, I'm hurt, I can't possibly fight because he doesn't want to lose a belt to Punk, or he doesn't want to work with Punk, or whatever it is. We know Seth's personal thoughts. I think that's, you know, this is your business. You just got to suck that up. Like, sorry, Seth, I like you. I think you're still one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. You're still going to be one of my all-time favorites ever. But you just have to suck it up and do the job. You know, like, we know what your thoughts and feelings are, and it's making for a compelling story, but if you're going to refuse to lose a belt because of these personal thoughts and feelings, that's childish, and there's no place for that in the business. You gotta let that one go. Regardless, I think this would be, no matter who competes at Mania, I think this will be the match of Mania. This is the one people would remember. This has all the makings for an instant classic. Finally, we get to Roman. This is the big one, right? We've got The Rock, who is returning. What about The Rock? Don't skip over The Rock. You've got Roman. You've got Cody wanting to finish the story. I think it all happens. Why can we not have The Rock versus Roman on night 1 of Mania, and then have Cody finish his story against Roman on night 2, Roman still looks strong. He can lose because he just competed against The Rock a night ago. He has 24 hours to recover before taking on the American Nightmare. Shout out to anyone who's listened to me on this so far. I've talked to a lot of personal friends about this, saying, this match, make this happen night 1. Not for the belt, just for bragging rights. You have Roman versus The Rock. Roman gets his win. He gets a Mania win over The Rock. The passing of the torch happens. Then night 2, Cody Rhodes finishes the story, beating Roman Reigns for the title, kind of destroying the bloodline in the process. Roman's vindicated. He's got his win over The Rock. Cody's completed his story. Jay feels good. He gets to run interference with these two goons running around trying to interfere with the match. You've got all the makings for another, I think this match. This is Mania. That is WrestleMania. It's got WrestleMania written all over it. It's just top tier storytelling. You complete this whole saga here. You can end the bloodline then. You can let Jimmy and Jay have their feud outside of that. Like maybe Backlash, these two feud. Maybe The Rock comes back to fight Roman at Backlash. Maybe it's just Cody versus Roman. Rock interferes. He and Jay help run interference against these two clowns. And then that sets up for a Roman Rock at Backlash. Who's to say that the storytelling is potentially endless here? There's just so many good ways that you could book it. I just hope that we get to see this happen. Obviously, Cody wants Roman, right? He wants to complete the story. That's his whole thing. I think if WWE is careful and considers everything, I think they can do this really, really well. Anyway, guys, these are my thoughts and opinions. Would you have other matches that you would want to see? Any other competitors that could step in here and just shake everything up and, you know, help me with these tag team divisions? Like, I don't know what, if it's a new era tag team, an established tag team, who is the tag team that would take on Judgment Day? Who will dethrone them? Same thing over here. The tag team division, women's tag team division is really hard because it's very poor right now. WWE has a very poor women's tag division, and I think there's a lot of work that could be done. Hopefully we see something good happen. Like I said, I think this would be a Mania level match. Not a go home match. No like main event. This is what's gonna light. But this would be an excellent like opening match. This would kick off a Mania. This could be a mid-card match. Whatever you want. I'm sick of the 2-day Mania and then getting filler matches that don't have any point. Like, if we're going to be doing 2-day WrestleManias, that's the new gold standard. Every single one of these titles needs to be defended. I wouldn't even hate if they start bringing the NXT titles up into the picture. Elevate them in, add some more titles, whatever it is. I just think every single title needs to be defended at Mania. If you're injured, you can't defend the title, you gotta vacate it. Mania, it's the show of shows, supposedly. The Royal Rumble and SummerSlam have become my new Mania just because I really miss the days of just one-day Mania, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. I like my one-day Manias, making a whole day out of it. I mean, the Super Bowl's only one day, right? We don't have 2 days of Super Bowl. I think that's the only major sport I can compare that to, though. Everything else has multiple championships or multiple day championships, but regardless, I digress. It's WrestleMania. It's 2 days now. I'm fine with it as long as we get every single championship defended. So these are my thoughts, guys. What do you think? Leave it in the comments below. We'll see you next time. Bye!